Okay, good day, everyone. We will be having our lesson number three today. But before we start with the discussion proper, let us have a quick review about the last discussion that we have, which is lesson number two. So it is about Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. So Fibonacci sequence, ano nga po ba yung sequence na to? So the numbers of our Fibonacci sequence developed during the Middle Ages. So it is introduced by Leonardo Bigolio and pinakita niya nga yung application of Fibonacci numbers sa kanyang famous rabbit problem. So ang nakuha niya pong numbers is 0, 1, 1, 2, 5, so on and so forth. So paano ba nakuha nga uli yung mga terms sa atin pong Fibonacci sequence? So we add the two preceding terms para makuha yung next one. So like 0 plus 1, ang susunod na term syempre will become 1. Then 1 plus 1, the next term will be 2. 2 plus 1, then the next term will be 3. And then, um, pinakita din po yung application ng ating Fibonacci sequence around us in our nature. So we call it Fibonacci spiral nga. So if nag-create daw nga tayo ng mga squares, tapos naglagay tayo ng mga quarter circle sa bawat squares na yon, makakabuo daw tayo ng spiral. Ano? And then, I also discussed how to compute for the golden ratio. So, paano nga nakakompute yung golden ratio? The formula is 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2. Ano? So, hindi siya pwedeng i-type mano-mano sa calculator. Kailangang i-solve. And then, the golden ratio can be used if we wanted to look for the value of any n term in our Fibonacci sequence. Ano? So by using the formula f sub n is equal to the golden ratio raised to n over the square root of 5. Ano? And then I also gave an exact formula that you can use. Ano? So medyo mahaba nga lang siya kaya hindi na po natin siya binigyan pa ng example. Ano? Ayan. So that ends our lesson number 2. Let's have our lesson objectives first. So at the end of the discussion, hopefully ito po yung ating matapos. Ano? Ayan. So understand the mathematical language and its characteristics and compare and differentiate mathematical expression to sentence and familiarize and name common symbols used in mathematical expressions and sentences. And then syempre ito, translate phrases and sentences into mathematical expressions and sentences and vice versa. Yan. So, are you familiar with this game, everyone? So, we call it charades. So, ano nga bang ginagawa dito sa charades? So, it is a word guessing game. 'Di ba? You need to identify the word or to guess the word. Pero, ang twist is the one person should act, okay, using only gestures or body movements, okay, to the other players. Ano? So, hindi pwedeng magsalita. Hindi pwedeng gumamit or mag-point ng object. Ano? So, it is pure gestures and body movements lang. Pero, by that, they can still communicate. They can still understand kung ano yung sinasabi no or kung ano yung ginagawa ng actor. Ano? So, nakapag-try na ba kayong gumawa ng ganyan? Or nakapag-try na kayong sumali sa ganyan? Ayan. So, ano yung kinalaman nitong charades sa atin pong lesson? Okay. So, a language daw is a system used to communicate ideas. It has vocabulary and rules for combining words to form meaningful statements. Ano? Pero, hindi lang naman usually words ang ginagamit natin to communicate with others. So, yung pinakita kong charades game kanina, they can make use of gestures, body movements, expressions, or pwedeng ang sounds. Ano? So, by that, they can still understand what is the other person saying. So, katulad din daw sa mathematics, pwede din daw pong magsilbi itong language. Ano? Pero, unlike the language that we are using, hindi lang puro sounds, words, gestures. Sa mathematics daw, ang ginagamit naman is in the form of symbols. Actually, we have more. Yeah, symbols for numbers, the variables, the operations, the relations, and the grouping symbols. So, madami. Ano? So, anong example ng mathematical language natin? So, in English language, it is usually written in words. So, 5 added by 3 is 8. Sa mathematical language daw, pwede na tayong gumamit ng symbol. So, 5 as in the 5 symbol, added by as in the plus sign, 3 as in the 3 symbol, and then is the equal sign, and 8 is the 8 symbol. Ano? Now, in our mathematical language, meron daw po siyang characteristics. So, we have 3. It can be precise, concise, and powerful. Ano po bang ibig sabihin ng mga characteristics nito sa mathematical language? So let's start with precise. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng precise? Precise mean um, it communicates, or a mathematical language communicates an exact meaning and allows very fine distinctions. Ano, precise, accurate dapat yung information na sinasabi ng ating mathematical language. Ano, so isang shift lang sa isang specific symbol, iba na yung magiging meaning. So example, ayan. So in words, if you say you have about 1,000 pesos. So parang estimation pa, hindi pa eksakto. So that is not precise. Now if you use a symbol, you have 1,000 pesos. So clear, accurate yung information na makukuha mo. Precise, kumbaga. Ano? So, kunyari, bibili ka sa palengke, ano, hindi mo nasasabihin sa tindera na, pabili nga po ng karneng sasapat sa 3 tao sa aming pamilya na medyo may malakas kumain, may mahinang kumain. Hindi mo nasasabihin yun. Ano, so hindi ka nagagamit ng mga flowery words. So instead, ang gagamitin mo na lang is precise measurement. So pabili nga po ng 3 kilong baboy. O yun na yun. Naintindihan na nung magtitinda yung gusto mong sabihin. Ano? So, very precise. Aside from that, dahil nga maraming specific symbols na may kanya-kanyang distinct meaning sa mathematical language, like for example, 1,000 pesos is, or 1,000 is different from a negative 1,000. Ano? So, iba yung meaning ng positive, iba yung meaning ng negative. Or, less than 1,000 is different from greater than 1,000. So, isang shift lang sa specific symbol, iba na yung magiging meaning. Okay, so aside from that, we also have concise. Ano po bang ibig sabihin naman ng concise? Ano, so, syempre, synonyms na lang. Concise means short, specific. So, in mathematical language daw, it communicates information using few symbols or words as possible without losing meaning. So yung nabanggit ko ding example kanina na hindi na dapat gumamit pa ng mga mabubulaklak na words or mga synonymous na words to express what you mean in mathematical language kasi gamit ka na lang ng symbols, tas maintindihan na ng kausap mo yung sinasabi. So katulad nito, instead of saying na the student saves 500 in January, 500 in February, or 500 pesos in February, 500 pesos in March, and so on for 12 months, sobrang haba pa nung message mo, or ng information. Pwede mo namang sabihin na lang na the student saves 500 pesos in 12 months amounting to 6,000 pesos. Or yan, simply by using this equation. Ipakita mo lang yung equation na yan, alam mo na kung magkano yung makukuha ng estudyante at the end of 12 months. Right? So, concise kapag gagamit ka ng mathematical language. So, usually kasi, puro symbols yung makikita mo dyan. And then, another characteristic of mathematical language is powerful. Bakit naman naging powerful yung mathematical language? Kasi nga daw, it can express complex ideas and solve problems across many fields. So, kunyari, mahirap or ang hirap i-explain ng abstract concept or yung reasoning mo in words, or hindi mo ma-express in words, pwede ka naman gumamit ng symbols. Or, in this case, mathematical language. So, hindi lang naman siya pang room. It can also be in other fields, like in sciences, in engineering, 'di ba? In hospitality management, pwede rin. So sa course na lang na nursing, sa course na criminology, madaming usage itong mathematical language. So nakalagay nga daw dyan, mathematics is powerful because it allows us to analyze situations, identify patterns, make predictions, and support decisions na hindi kayang ibigay ng ordinary words or ordinary way of communication. So that's why mathematics is concise, precise, and very powerful. Alright. So after distinguishing the characteristics, now let's compare the English language and the mathematical language para ma-visualize nyo lang kung ano yung pinakaiba talaga ng dalawa. So the English language usually is formed using words, merong vocabulary, may grammar, diba? May mga nouns, may mga verbs, okay? It can be written as like this. However, as you can see, in mathematics, it is only in the form of symbols. Diba? Mga numbers, mga operations, mga variables, yun lang yung nakikita natin. Ano? And then, may kita rin dito sa example yung characteristic nung uh, mathematical language na pinakita ko kanina. Very concise. Kita nyo naman, sobrang short lang ang equation. Very precise. Kita din naman natin na accurate yung binibigay na information, and then very powerful kasi sa simpleng equation na to maintindihan mo kung ano yung gusto niyang sabihin. Ano? So let me give you an example of the structure ng ating mathematical sentence. Ano? So this is under pa rin ng mathematical language. So as you can see, we have two values here represented by 3 and 4. And then, meron daw tayong operation sa gitna. It serves as the connective daw ng dalawang terms natin na to or dalawang values natin na to. So, any operations will do. And then, we also have an equal sign. Equal sign here represents the linking verb daw in a way sa English language. So, it is similar by that. So, what do we mean by linking verb? Nagli-link nung main idea sa result. Ano? So, it is equal to, kapag daw pinag-add yung 3 and 4 to 7. Ano? So, yun daw yung usually makikita nating structure ng mathematical sentence. Alright. Okay. Or meron pa rin tayong dalawang types ng mathematical language, not only the mathematical sentence na nabanggit ko. Meron din daw tayo nung isa pa, mathematical expression. Ano? So, let me read. Ano daw bang ibig sabihin ng mathematical expression? It is a correct arrangement of mathematical symbols used to represent a mathematical object of interest. So, gagamit pa rin daw talaga ng symbols to represent the information that we want to communicate to other people. Ano? However, it does not state a complete mathematical thought, and it does not make sense to ask if an expression is true or false. So, expression daw, parang katulad sa English language, kapag daw binigyan tayo ng isang expression, usually, putol yung thought. Ano? So, hindi tapos, hindi mo magets agad yung gustong sabihin kasi parang may kasunod pa, pero hindi lang nabanggit. Ano? So, katulad din noon, itong mathematical expression putol, hindi maintindihan kung ano ba yung magiging result. Ito bang information na nabigay sa expression is true or false? Hindi natin alam kasi nga putol. Hindi kompleto yung gustong um, ipahiwatig sa atin. However, dun nga sa nabanggit nating mathematical sentence kanina, dun sa structure pa lang na yon, nagbibigay na siya ng complete mathematical thought. So, it can produce a result of true statement o kaya naman ay false statement. So pwede na natin siyang i-evaluate. And then, another thing na pinagkaiba nitong dalawa is, wala kang makikitang equal sign kay expression. Sa sentence ka lang makakita nun. So, doon sa pinakita ko ng example, sa mathematical, as a structure ng mathematical sentence, may equal sign, may linking verb. Sa expression, wala kang makikitang ganon. Pero makakita ka pa rin doon ng mga different symbols like greater than, less than, pero usually walang equal sign na makikita. Ayan. So, yun yung pinagkaiba ng dalawang mathematical language natin, the expression and the sentence. However, let me give you an example. Ayan. So, I have your English phrases. Pero we wanted to translate it to mathematical expressions na. So let's start with the first one. Sabi daw dyan, the sum of a number and 9. So yan yung English language version. Now we wanted to translate it to mathematical expression. So paano ko i-represent yung the sum of a number and 9? So let's start with the sum. The sum expresses the operation addition. So ano daw yung kinukuha na natin ng sum? Or ano daw yung pinag-a-add natin? So we have a number and 9. So a number here can be expressed, or since this is unknown, it can be expressed into a variable. Kahit anong variable will do. Pwedeng X, pwedeng F, pwedeng J, pwedeng M, as long as yan yung unknown. Yan yung nawawala. So let's say for example, ayan, letter N na lang gamitin natin. Okay. So ganyan po yung translation itong ating first English phrase. The sum of a number and 9. Putol, 'di ba? O ano naman kung meron tayong the sum of a number and 9. Hindi naman natin masasabi kung totoo ba siya or false. Hindi natin malaman kung true statement ba yan or false statement. So, putol. Okay, aside from that, we also have the difference of a number and 21. O ano naman yung operation na nire-represent ng the difference? Okay, subtraction. Okay, so ano yung minus natin? A number and 21. So, paano daw siya kapag tinranslate? Okay, a number na ulit, unknown uli siya. So, we can make use of other variables. So, let's say na lang, we have, x. Any variable, any letter in the alphabet will do. Sige, ibahin natin. Let's say, maiba naman. Let's say J. Pwede naman J. Basta variable siya. Okay, so J plus, hindi pala plus, J minus 21. Ayan. So, let me rewrite. J minus 21. Alright. So, ganyan. Ang pag um, translate. Ano? And then, we also have the product. Ano naman po nire-represent niyang the product? So, that's multiplication. Ano yung pinag-multiply daw natin? 6 and a number ulit. So, an unknown, a missing number ulit. So, ito, pwede nating i-translate into various ways kasi madaming symbols na pwedeng gamitin to represent multiplication. Right? As long as tama po yung information na na-translate mo. So, let's say we have 6, um, let's use another variable for a number. Let's say m. 6 times m. It can be written as like that. Diba? Magkatabi. Kapag po magkatabi, that represents multiplication. Or, it can be written as 6 tapos may parentheses. Diba? So, ganun din ang ibig sabihin niyan. Nagmumultiply din. Nagmumultiply pa rin si 6 at saka si m. Or, yung atin na talagang ginagamit na symbol. Pwede pong period to represent multiplication. So, 6 times m. O meron pa. It can also be asterisk. Diba? Ayan. Asterisk. Pwede din siyang gamitin to represent multiplication. And also, yung classic na x. However, I advise you not to use this if ang katabi nitong ating x symbol na yan is a variable. Okay? Baka kasi kayo ay ma-confuse kung variable ba siya or symbol ng multiplication. Ano? So, ang dami naman pwedeng gamitin na symbol to represent multiplication aside from x here. So, I advise you not to use this. Pwede nyo naman gamitin kung ang magkatabi ay, or kung ang pinag-multiply ay dalawang number, so on and so forth. Ano? Basta hindi variable. Okay, then, the quotient. Okay, the quotient of 48 and a number. So, ano po yung mga pwede natin gamitin symbol to represent the quotient or division? So, pwede pong the classic symbol ng division, yung may dot sa taas, tapos bar line, or fraction bar, tapos dot sa ilalim. Yan. So, a number, let's represent it using another symbol, another variable. Let's say, E. O, maiba naman. Or, ano pa, yung mga symbol na pwede natin gamitin to represent division. Pwede din yung slash. Diba? 48 divided by slash yun E. Pwede din yan. Or, yung talagang parang fraction form. So, 48, yung nasa numerator, 48 over n. Over e pala. E nga pala ang ating ginamit na variable. Yan. So, pwedeng ganyan yung ating mga gamitin. Okay? Na symbols for division. Meron pa ba tayong pwedeng gamitin pa to represent division? Pwede yung ratio, pero only if kung ang nakalagay dyan ay the ratio of 48 and a number. So, pag ratio kasi yan ay colon. Ganon. Letter E nga pala ang ating variable. Yan. So, yan. Ginagamit lang yan kapag ratio yung nakalagay. Pero, it also has the concept of division. Lastly, we have 1/3 of a number. So, paano natin isusulat yung 1/3 of a number? So, parang literal talaga. Na 1/3 represents 1 over 3. Tapos, ikakabit lang natin, yung of represents multiplication yan. Dito, kapag naka-fraction. So, ididikit na lang natin yung variable. So, let's say, ang variable naman natin ay z. Yan. O, 1/3 of a number. 1/3 ni z. Or, it can also be written as, si z, yung numerator, tapos, 1/3 niya. Or, it is divided to thirds. Yan. Z yan ha, hindi number 2. Letter Z. Okay, so it can be written as like that. Ngayon, dahil yan ay fraction, you can make use of other division symbol, diba, to represent fraction. Pero mas maganda kung ganito na lang. Yung may numerator, may denominator, may fraction bar sa gitna. Alright? Ayan. So, what can you notice about the examples in our expressions? O, wala kayo makita dyang equal sign. Putol. Ano? Alright. So, yan. So, yan yung ating mga final answer. Again, sa variable part, you can make use of other variables other than n. Pwedeng x, pwedeng s, pwedeng j, pwedeng o. Basta variable na makita sa atin pong alphabet. Alright. So, kung meron tayong mathematical expression, we also have mathematical sentences. Now, let's try to translate this English sentences into mathematical one. So, let's start with the sum. Ito madali na lang kasi nabigyan ko na kayo ng example niyan kanina. So, it represents addition. Pero this time, as you can see, yung ating missing missing variable, rather, is already written. So, yun yung susundin natin. Instead of other variables na iisip pa tayo, ito talagang gagamitin natin. O, dalawa. So, the sum of a number x and y is 24. So, paano natin siya ita-translate? So, the sum of a number x and y, pag-aano din daw natin si x at saka si y. Okay, so x plus y is, ano yung gagamitin natin to represent is equal sign. Is I equal sign. So, is 24. So, 24 symbol. Yan, ganyan lang naman. So, ganyan tayo mag-translate. Okay? Okay, next. 10 diminished by 1 is 9. So, 10, symbol lang naman yan. So, 10 symbol, or number 10. Diminished by, what do you mean by diminished? Okay, nabawasan, binawasan ng isa. Diminished by 1. So, ano ba yung operations? Syempre, subtraction. So, that's minus sign. Minus 1. Okay, is, may is ulit. Ano po ang ating sign? That's equal sign. 9. So, is 9. Yan. Ito, kita-kita talaga natin na nagbibigay ito ng accurate information. Na 10 minus 1 is equal to 9 nga naman. Ano? That's true statement. Tama yon. Then, how about this? Twice a number b is 8. Twice daw ng isang number ito, meron na ulit tayong binigay na variable sa unknown. So, instead of using other variables, yun na lang gagamitin. So, twice a number b. So, paano susulat yung twice a number b? Okay? So, multiplication po ang ibig sabihin yan. Ibig sabihin, 2 times b. So, you can make use of, yan, yung magkadikit kanina na concept. Or, pwede din nyo din lagyan nyo ng parentheses to represent na multiplication siya. Or you can make use of the period or the asterisk. Okay? To represent multiplication. So, twice a number b is, so is ulit, ang is natin ay equal sign. And then, 8. So, 8 symbol. Yan. So, ganyan po mag-translate. Ano? Okay. So, ang mga nakakalito lang naman is in the operation ng subtraction. Kapag po sinabi sa subtraction yung 2 less than or less a number b. So, 2 less a number b means, so 2 less a number b ha, hindi siya 2 minus b. So, yung b, babawasan daw pa ng 2. So, that's 2 less a number b. So, 2 less, o less than a number b. O less than b na lang. 2 less than b. So, hindi porket yun yung nauna na symbol, yun na yung gagamitin nyo sa pagta-translate. Intindihin nyo yung sinasabi na information. Like, another one. Subtracted from a number b. O, b na lang ulit. Yan. So, hindi porket nandun nga uli yung 2 sa unahan, 2 minus b na yan. Hindi po. Ito'y ganito pa din ang itsura. Ano, intindihin kung gusto nyo, tagalogin nyo. Ang 2 ay binawas saan? Sa b. So, ang b, mababawasan ng 2. Hindi yung 2 ang minusan ng b. Okay? So, yun lang yung mga tricky wordings natin. Ano? We're done with the mathematical expression and the mathematical sentences. Ayan. So, I have here in my screen the different words that you can relate to the different operations or that can be represented by the different operations. Yan. So, for addition, napakadami. Aside from that, we can also make use of Ano ba ang concept ng addition? Nadagdagan, tumaas, dumami, lumaki. Um, ayun. So, yun yung concept behind addition. So, and the words that related to that, like, um, addition is combined. Addition pa rin yun. Total. Ano pa rin yan? Addition din yan. Um, increased by, yan, nasabi na rin naman dyan. Grow, ito, sa bangko, application, nagpasok ng pera. So, ibig sabihin, nadagdagan yung pera sa loob ng bangko. Deposit, di ba? Nag-deposit ka ng pera. Nagpasok ka ng pera. So, that's addition pa rin. Ano pa? Contribute, savings, di ba? Or save, pwede din yun. Or, ano pa ba? Addition, above, di ba? Tumaas. Ayun. So, alam natin yung concept ng addition. Magagamit natin yung mga words na yun for or in representing addition. Then, we also have subtraction. Ayan. Siyempre, mga kabaliktaran na binanggit natin kanina. So, instead na madagdagan, siyempre nabawasan. Kumonte. Bumaba. Lumiit. So, ano yung mga words na pwede natin gamitin? Yun nga, diminished by. Yung ginamit natin kanina. Ano pa? Kung may above, syempre below naman. Pag subtraction. O dun sa bangko, kapag nagpasok ng pera at nagtagtag or alis naman ng pera, we call it withdraw. O withdraw ay pwede din subtraction. Ano pa? May kinalaman sa pera. Loaned. Subtraction din yan. Borrowed. Subtraction din yan. Take away. Ano ba? Decreased. Ayan, sige. Pwede na rin. Banggit naman. Ayan, so madami pang words na pwedeng gamitin. Then, ayan, sa product, ayan, madami din, or sa multiplication, madami ding words na pwedeng gamitin, aside from kung ano yung nakalagay dyan sa screen. Ano ba yung concept nga ng multiplication, that's repeated addition. So, pwedeng rapidly increase, di ba, mataas na paglaki, or mabilis na paglaki, rather. Pwede din natin gamitin yung times 2, times 3, that's doubled. Threefold. Pwede din gamitin yung tenfold, fivefold, diba? Ibig sabihin, 8 times 5 times 10. Ano pa ba? Ayun. So, yun lang yung commonly na nagagamit. How about division? Ayan. So, ano ba yung concept uli ng division? Nahati. Hinati. Dinivide. So, ano ba yung mga words na pwede natin gamitin na nahati yung concept? Like split, sliced, split into, or hindi pala, nasabi ko na pala ang split, distributed, allocated, yun, parted, diba? So, yung concept ng fraction, yung hinati talaga into different parts. So, out of, pwede din yun. Ano ba? Ayun. Separated, pwede din. Ayun. So, aside from the operations, we can also see different words to use for the equal sign. So, ano bang concept ng equal sign? Pwede siyang nagpapakita ng equality, parehas. So, ano yung mga words na pwede natin gamitin as the same as, equivalent to, ano pa ba? Look as, hindi naman yung ginagamit sa mathematical language congruent. Pero meron tayong specific na symbol for congruent kasi. So, yan. Aside from equality, pinapakita din ng equal sign yung result, yung answer. So, yan. Nabanggit naman dyan. The result is, becomes, ano pa yung pwede nating gamitin to represent showing the result? Yield to, o yields. So, the answer is, yan. Mga linking verbs natin. Is, are, was, were. Yun yung mga pwede natin gamitin for equal sign. And then, pag naman unknown, ano yung usually na words na makikita natin sa word problem? A number, an unknown quantity, an unknown quantity, usually ito yung mga hinahanap sa problem. So, for example, number of sides, a number of sides is. So, hindi natin alam. So, usually it is in words or in phrases. Then, ang translation niya, edi kahit anong variable. Alright. Okay, now we have different mathematical symbols. So aside from sa atin pong nabanggit na operations, yung ating equal sign at saka yung ating variable or yung ating unknown, madami pa daw tayong mathematical symbols na nagagamit. Ano? So please take note of this, everyone, kasi some of the symbols ay may encounter nyo ulit sa atin pong future discussions or future topics. Ayan, so let's start with union. So as you can see, yung union natin, ano yan, baliktad na U. Okay? So it represents, ayan, combining two sets daw. And then interaction naman, or intersection rather, baliktad naman siya na U. Yan. And then we also have element of, letter E siya. Subset, improper subset. So letter C siya, tapos may bar line sa ilalim. Yan. And then proper subset, ang atin pong symbol naman ay silang, na walang bar line sa ilalim. Ano? So please memorize this. Ano? Actually memorize all kasi kasama yan sa prelims. Ano? So itong aking highlight ay makikita nyo sa topic natin about sets. Ano? So if you are familiar with the topic sets, yan. Yan usually yung mga ginagamit na symbols. Then we also have um, symbols that we use for logic, reasoning. So we have V. It represents or daw in our statements or disjunction. Then we also have yung baliktad na V. Okay, nire-represent niya ay and sa ating statements o kaya naman ay conjunction. Then we also have two symbols to represent negation or negative statement. So yung negative symbol talaga natin or pwedeng yung ganito, yung pa-wave. Ano? So maalin, pwede naman yan gamitin. And then we also have implies. Implies ay arrow pointing to the right. Okay? So mali kung yung arrow nagpo-point sa left, hindi siya or hindi parehas ng meaning sa implies. Then we also have if and only if. Ayan. So, may arrowhead on both ends. Ayan. So, usually daw ito ay sa logic or sa truth statement natin makita na may encounter nyo ulit in the future discussion. So, please remember this. Ano, please memorize this. And then, ayan, yung usual na nakikita na rin natin sa conclusion ng ating mga equation or mga concepts ng ating formulas, yung therefore, ano, tatlong tuldok na parang triangle pattern. Then ito, we also have for all. Usually, makita yan sa mga conclusions ng inyong research o kaya naman ng inyong equations, ng inyong solutions. Ayan. Pero din tong there exists. Baliktad naman na E. Ayan. Okay. So, those are some of the symbols pa. Then, familiar na lang nga rin tayo sa different symbols ng ating operation. Iba't iba din yung nakukuha or nagagamit natin for multiplication and division. Pero meron din tayong symbol na ginagamit for composition of functions. Ito um, gamit or ma-encounter nyo uli yan sa ating susunod na discussion. Ano? So, yan ay circle na hollowed yung center or butas yung gitna. Then, we also have the equal sign. Alam nyo na yan. Yung not equal, I think di naman kayo bago sa concept na yan. Ano? So, may slash lang sa gitna yung ating equal sign. Then, we have the inequalities. Okay, however, inequalities, yan. Involved na dito yung less than, greater than. Pero, tanongin ko kayo kung ano po yung symbol ng less than, ano yung symbol ng greater than. Actually, we have already here an example. So, kapag po yung open, if it is opening on the right side, it is greater than. Siyempre, kapag baliktad, nag-open naman siya dun sa, may pala baliktad. So, if it opens to the left, yan, nag-open siya to the left, so it is greater than. If it opens to the right naman, di syempre, baliktaran niya naman yung less than. Eh, ano kapag po merong bar line sa ilalim? Paano ang basa? Ano? So, yan daw po ay greater than or equal to, and then yung isa naman po ay less than or equal to. Okay, so those are the different symbols na pwede natin gamitin sa ating mathematical language. Okay, so I have here now an activity. Now, I want you to answer this again. Siguro kasya naman na ito sa 1/2 crosswise. Ano? So, after po ng video na to, please answer this. Copy and answer. Please copy and answer. Ano? Kung maaari, pwede nyo naman siyang i-highlight ulit. Yan, so pabox na lang uli no final answer nyo. Para madaling mag-check. Ano? So, yung ating test 1, you're just going to translate it into mathematical language. In test 2 naman, this mathematical language should be translated naman into words. Okay? After identifying kung siya ba ay expression or sentence. So, dalawang gagawin nyo ha for this one. Take note. After po ma-identify kung expression or sentence, ita-translate. O, paano ang translation ng x plus 6 is equal to 11? O, pwede kayong gumamit ng kahit anong words to represent addition. Okay, ito din, 2x minus 1, o minus 11 rather, is equal to 6. O, ano ang translation yan into English language? Okay? So, dalawa yung sagot per number. Aside from, identify kung expression or sentence ba yan, edi, i-translate din. Okay? Ayan. So, 1/2 crosswise, And then, okay, so question regarding po sa ating discussion. So, madali lang naman kasi. So, it's all about mathematical language and symbols. Ulitin ko lang, ang mathematical language may tatlong characteristics: precise, concise, powerful. Then, ang mathematical language can be represented or can be classified into two. So, we have expression and sentences. Pag hindi complete yung thought, that is an expression. Kapag complete na yung thought, and usually may equal sign, yun ay mathematical sentences. Then, ayun, translation ng symbols natin or yung ating phrases into mathematical language and then vice versa. Ano? Yan. So, I think that would be all. Goodbye, everyone.